everybody, Eric Flowers, your Indian River County Sheriff here at the 28th Annual Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch's Indian River County Sheriff's Office Barbecue. What a great time. Many of you have been to this event in the past. We just kicked it off at 2 o'clock and this is the largest one we've ever had by far. In past years it's occurred on our campus, but because of security upgrades that you've learned about right here on In the Know, we had to move the venue. So this year it's here at the Indian River County Fairgrounds, and going forward it's going to be here. It gets bigger every single year. We're so excited to host it, but at the end of the day, all the dollars that we raise at the event today go directly to our Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. And Debi Girard, she is our local representative. She's here to tell you about what's actually, where those dollars are going and how the kids are experiencing the youth ranches. Debi, can you tell folks about that?
Thank you. Yes, I always like to start out with camping because you have camping here in your vicinity.
Yep.
And you also have a week up in our Barberville Youth Camp, which is west of Ormond Beach.
Yep.
On 40, and it's free to the parents, so I like to really project that because a lot of parents can't afford to send their children to camp. Our donor family has been asked to step up, and they're the ones that provide the money. The only thing they have to do is provide a physical for the child. So from the ages of 10 until 15, we take the children into our camping programs, and they get to do archery, and they get to do swimming and high ropes and you name it, but they're doing it with law enforcement officers. That's a big deal because law enforcement officers are your friends is our theme for summer camp. We need that more than we need anything today because that is just upside down. The world is upside down is all I can say.
Well, it's actually our school resource team that hosts these camps. So a lot of the kids that end up going to the camps, they know their school resource deputy or they know them from being around, and that works out very well, and they get to have that positive interaction with law enforcement. I agree with you. It's a very good thing for those kids to experience that.
It is, because they don't always see them in the same light. They may be from the homes that have them knocking on the door for some domestic type of a situation. So we really want to encourage the family to participate in this program. It's a great program. We also have residential programs. But back to the camp before I forget. If your children are 15, 16, 17, we have leadership and training programs. We have counselor and training programs. We hope they'll come back and become a counselor. We really need help for counseling for camping programs. So we've got our flyers at the table about needing jobs. I guess that's everywhere now.
Absolutely.
But we really do need people who want to get into this if they're in college and this is their major. They come and help us for a summer. It's a great experience.
Absolutely. Can you give the website for the youth ranches to the folks?
www.youthranches.org.
Youthranches.org is that website. And I'll tell you, in the last year, having been sheriff here, I've learned so much more about the youth ranches. You know, you took me on a visit to the actual original camp up in Swanee, right? On the Swanee River.
Yep, in Live Oak.
Live Oak, beautiful facility. I would encourage you, if you're somebody out there that has a capacity to give, please contact Debi. Let her take you on that tour. Let her take you up to Live Oak and see the residential facility, because it is great that we have these programs here in Indian River County where our local kids can go. They go to a school or they go off to Barberville and they get to see what the youth ranches can do working with our deputies. But really the heart and the way that this entire program started was
the residential program.
Yes. And the idea of the residential program is that sometimes it's wayward youth, sometimes it's kids who, maybe they haven't interacted with the criminal justice system yet, but they're on that edge. There's somebody that, the family says, we really need help with this child. We just can't get there, and we don't want to see them locked up. We don't want to see something bad happen. And so at that point, they meet with their local sheriff, and they're assessed. You guys do an assessment on them. It is a faith-based program. So they have to be willing to understand that.
Work, study, play, and pray.
That's right.
And the children have to say yes. They're not incarcerated. There are no bars on the windows. This is not that type of facility. So if they're willing to try the program and give it a shot, because there's too many people that, too many kids that will. Yes. And so we really can't take them if they don't say yes.
Well, I'll tell you, Debi, I've been a huge proponent of the youth ranches since before I was ever sheriff. But the biggest thing for me that I've learned in the last year was the story of how they actually started. And it was two sheriffs that got together. They were traveling across Texas to go pick up an inmate. So you can think about this. This was what, 1940s?
Yeah, it's and it was a young man and his girlfriend.
Yep.
I believe she was pregnant.
Okay.
He took a bullet in the you know, the robbery, the grocery store or whatever, and when they got to bond with these kids, they realized, you know, they're not really bad kids. Their environment, their situation, their home life was really bad.
Yes.
And they didn't want to see them end up in the system.
That's right.
So there was another ranch similar that we kind of mirrored or took a lot out of Texas.
The two sheriffs.
Exactly.
They had been traveling and they saw this ranch and they said, we need one of these in Florida.
That's exactly right. And then the Florida Sheriff's Association stepped up and said, we got to make this happen. So in 1957 is when we opened our doors. I believe the first building did not have a roof on it during the opening ceremony, and by the time they all got together and had the opening, we had the money to put the roof on the location.
It's an incredible organization. I would encourage you, if you have, like I said, if you have the capacity to give, get with Debbie, go up and see the youth ranches, visit the actual ranch, see how it operates, and it's really, you know, you've got a mom and pop that live there in a house with up to 10 of these juveniles, so maybe 13-year-olds or 14-year-olds all in a house, and mom and pop live there and raise these kids.
Yes, they do. And we're looking for more angels. So if you're thinking about raising some kids, and we do all the training, we can't possibly train enough. We really do take care of our employees when it comes to the mom and pop. So if you're out there and you're thinking about doing something like this, please get on our website, look out on our jobs. They're located on that website. We really need, we've got children waiting because we need parents. We need cottage parents. So please think about that, and I wanted to bring that up.
Your ideal situation is a married couple that are maybe retired and have raised kids already, who know what it takes to raise kids, who are interested in this job that's really it's more than a full-time job.
Well, it's really a calling too.
It is.
Yeah, they fall in love with these kids. These kids come back, they get married on our campuses, they call mom and pop their own parents.
Yes.
And they keep in touch with them. We just had our 64th annual open house just this last weekend. And the alumni come back, their grandfathers now, because we've been here so long. And they bring back their children, they bring back their grandchildren. It's an amazing thing to see because they think of us as their home. They really do.
We know that there are folks out there that are going to be tuned into our social media. They're going to see this on the government channel. They're going to see it in places. And they're a married couple that have been looking for that calling, looking for that thing. Contact Debbie, contact the youth ranches. Just go visit, see if it fits with you, and you might find something that changes your life. I know visiting the campus for me, eating at the table with mom and pop and the 10 boys, changed my life. I mean, it changed the way that I think about the youth ranches and my willingness to want to continue this. You know, when I took over as a sheriff, not only did I say, yeah, we're going to continue the youth ranches barbecue, but last year we also had a shoot. We did a clay shoot. We've got a fishing tournament that's coming up this year. We're adding additional events because I want to be the #1 sheriff in the state to give money to. I want our agency to be the one that they say Indian River County gives to us, because I'm telling you, it's been a life-changing experience for me. And I hope the folks out there will visit the website or consider visiting with Debbie and going and seeing the ranches, because it really is an amazing thing.
And we want to thank your office. I mean, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you all don't see, because we know what goes into this. We can't be more grateful to have you step up and do these kind of activities, so that not only are you raising money, but you're raising awareness, because we're in one of those states where people come down, they live, they get maybe one of them passes, they go back to their children, and it starts like that over and over again. So if you have any clubs or churches or anything you want me to come speak, to just share the information, and you're planting seeds. That's all I can say. But we're so grateful to the Sheriff's Office and your staff for putting on this amazing event, and this can't be a more beautiful day.
It's a perfect day.
In a more beautiful surroundings and environments, so thank you so much.
If you've never been to our Youth Ranches barbecue, we're going to put some footage in here so that you can see what's happening today. The meals are $7. It's completely free to get in to the event itself. We've got old cars out here, a great car show going. We've got demos by our SWAT team, by our K-9. Our Honor Guard is out here. We've got the Mounted Patrol from Marion County, but next year we're actually hoping to have our own Mounted Patrol here on display. We've got all of our big agency vehicles. The helicopter is out here. We've got our Our bagpipers are playing. You know, we've got brand new cars on display. There's so many great things and things for the kids to do. I see a bounce house, I see a slide, there's a dunk tank up there, and inside we've got a ton of vendors. So please, if you didn't make it this year to the youth ranches, it is always the first Wednesday in March. It is from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and I promise you next year it's going to be out here at the fairgrounds again. It's going to be the biggest one we've ever had. We're looking to hopefully raise about $60,000 today to be able to hand that check to Debbie. We haven't seen the numbers come in yet. Throughout the day as we're serving meals, we get to see how those numbers do, but I'm hoping that in just a few short minutes here, I'm going to be presenting Debbie with a check for $60,000 from this barbecue. Folks, if you didn't make it out to the barbecue, if you're just now seeing this on social media, go online and give to the youth ranches. Give. We need help. This has got to continue. It's a great program and it means a ton to us.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been tuned in to In the Know at IRCSO. We got another segment coming up right after this. Thanks for tuning in. Hang in there.